Welcome back, soul brothers and sisters, and thank you for tuning in for another episode of A Conversation Between Soul Brothers, where we talk about the issues facing our community and beyond. I am your grateful soul brother, Sherrod Corn, and I'm joined by my dog, Mr. Phil Simmons. What it
My
do?
God. What up,
What up,
though? What
though?
you do, baby? What up, though?
It's the same old, same old. Can't complain, though.
Yeah, man. I like that, man. Good to see you, big dog. Good to
Oh,
see you,
yeah,
man.
oh, yeah. Brother, you came in from Toronto,
Yeah,
got off that
man.
road to join me. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
man. Yeah, man. Just had to good, really good friend of mine, man. They his mom passed away, man. And so
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
beautiful service, man, beautiful spirit, man, beautiful woman, brother. Just really a lot, just very spiritual, man. I met her a few times, and the times that I've always met her, man, she just always just had like this really dope energy, man. Just very spiritual energy, man. Just literally one of those people, man, who's a angel on this planet. Seriously, like we
Okay.
lost one that way. But the things that she did, man, she just did some really amazing stuff, man. The Greater Toronto area,
Okay.
and so yeah, like he's from Ghana, and just telling her story how she moved from as a got married, moved to Ghana, from Ghana to Canada in 1972, and just did so many positive things, man, in that area, man,
Sweet.
and just seeing the people that was there from Ghana to Jamaica, man, to Canada to United States, man, like it was just a beautiful service, and I'm really glad that I was a part of it, man, and just being there for my friend,
Hey man, that's smooth. That's smooth. And then I usually think, man, it's like, hey, when folks depart from this realm, hey, their mission has been complete. So they need
Yeah.
to go someplace else to to do more work.
Do more
So,
work. That's that part. And now you know what's right. It's funny you say that, man, because that was pretty much what the message was. How everybody felt.
oh,
You know what
okay.
I'm saying? She left a beautiful legacy, man. Like just really spiritual, man. Really, every time I would have conversations with her, man, it was so positive and just, man, she lived the word, bro. She just didn't know the Bible. She lived it. You know what I mean? Like,
See,
yeah, she lived it, man. She started uh, whole food pantry, man, and feed the
wow,
homeless and the needy in Toronto, and that was her mission, man. She sold her business. She was owned a hair salon, and then in like 2012, man, she was just like, you know what, this is the work God got me to do, and have me do it. And that she went and did, man,
nice,
until she passed. Like that was just dope. Yeah.
sweet, sweet. Well, we're without
What you
Bo and Will. Shout out to you fellas. We'll see y'all
Yeah.
next week.
Y'all next week, brother. Y'all be safe out there, man.
This week, I was let me pull this up real quick. I was asked to speak about intimacy killers.
Huh.
So I said, man, okay. What things in a relationship kills the intimacy? So I found something on truelovedates.com, and it lists the top 10 relationship killers.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
should we start with number 1 or should we start with number 10 and work up?
You know what? Let's start with 10 and work on up. Let's do it that
All
way.
right.
You know?
Number 10 is pride. Pride.
Mm,
And so dude says, I am my biggest marriage problem. To be able to look in then is the greatest step toward nourishing a relationship. To be aware enough to recognize or restore your flaws and shortcomings before fixating on those of your spouse. But the string of pride can make that really hard to do. It's so much easier to point the finger and shift the blame.
yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, I think in what ways you look at pride as far as I would it would be cool if he had like a scenario. You know what I'm saying? Like in what way? Like I think from that way, like yeah. I mean, okay. So I would look at it this way: is that I agree with that. I agree with that. So, for a lack of a uh, better way than not going so much in detail with it, I agree with him on that part. But then you got to define what he's considering intimacy as well
Yeah.
too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think we got to define that because everybody define that. We think it's clear cut, but it's not.
And I think for me, a good example of that would be arguing to be right instead of trying to actually resolve the issue. You know, we're just arguing just to see who was right about the thing instead of saying, you know what, hey, guess what, I was wrong this time or whatever, and because somebody is wrong.
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah. There are some clear cut right and wrong things. Yeah, I
yeah.
agree. I agree.
And
I
then
agree.
we sit here, we fight and fuss and stuff like that. It's like, hey, you know your ass dead wrong. You know it, but it's like the louder I get, let me make up a word. The righter I am. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Some people come from those places, man. As far as like whoever yells the loudest wins the argument.
Yeah,
I'm
one of
saying,
those. Things.
yeah. Sometimes people come from those places. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I definitely will kill intimacy from that way because I think what makes it kill intimacy from that point is because I think that when we look at intimacy, it's gentle, it's soft, right? It really is that, and from that point. And so when you automatically walk around with your defenses up, even if just let's say you quote unquote, won the argument, like you still lost the battle in regards to when it come down to intimacy that way.
And
You know what I'm saying?
you know what I find that men do a lot in arguments is say, whether right or wrong, babe, you was right, just to end the argument.
Yeah, yep, just in the argument. Yeah, yeah, very much
Okay.
so. I agree. Yeah,
And then
yeah,
that enables her from there. Well, you know what? If either side does it, let's put it. Let's do it that way. If either side ends the argument, tells the other person you're correct, just to end it. All you're doing is enabling their behavior to become
yep,
worse.
yep,
I'm not
yep.
saying had this knocked out, this. Are we were? No, no, no. Don't find a
Yeah.
way to resolve it like adults.
I agree. And you know what, bro? And I'm 100 definitely agree with you with that 100% because what happens with that at some point in time is the fact that then it's like, okay, what are you apologizing for? Right?
Right.
Like, so because then, like you just said, you enabling the situation at that point in time. And then, like, just to end it from this point in time, but it really hasn't ended because it's gonna come back up again.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's just going to look different, but that situation is going to come back up again until we have genuine conversations about it. And honestly, that's intimacy within itself. Honestly, to
Mm-hmm.
be able to have a genuine conversation, that's very intimate. You know,
Yep.
yeah. So it's redefining intimacy from that way. So I think when people start to look at intimacy, it's not just this sexual aspect of things. You know,
And
you know.
intimacy is the communication can be intimate,
Yeah,
and it
yeah,
doesn't
very,
have to be sexual. It's letting a person inside,
yeah,
being
yeah.
vulnerable.
That part right there, Sherrod. You know what I'm saying? That part right there, bro. Being vulnerable is very intimate, man. I think so many people don't. But let me ask you this: do you think? I know we kind of sliding a little bit, but it's
No,
always
no,
we always.
no.
But do you think that men miss that more than women miss that part? Like as far as miss that part of how communication can be that intimate?
You trying to get me in trouble
I'm
out of
ready
this
for
joint?
that one, huh?
Oh man. Okay, let me look around.
Yeah, we gotta do that. This what we do. This what we
Oh,
do. You know?
okay. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. I think that in this day and time, I think more men are more intimate than women,
Okay.
and I'm gonna say
Okay.
it because I think men, when I hear a woman use this word called mansplaining, right?
Hmm. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before too. So let's jump into that. That's right. Yes. Yes.
And so I want to define it for folks because it's a thing. It's a thing, right? Mansplaining is a condescending, unsolicited, or overconfident explanation given by a man to a woman who often knows more about the topic, frequently stemming from gendered assumptions of authority. And now, when I hear that, I said, okay, I can go with that definition. But anytime you start explaining to any person, anybody, they throw that word out. And I'm like, do you know what your own word means? Since you guys made it up, do you know
Right.
what
Good
it means?
point.
Because
Good
if I'm
point.
just sitting here kicking it to you and I'm telling you what's right, and you ask me and I'm telling you, it's like they want this cliff note version of every explanation,
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of me saying, hey, let me tell you, if I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to talk to you, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So I think men are more intimate. See, close familiarity or friendship, closeness. Um, that's one of the definitions. Closeness of observation or knowledge of a subject. And what is the other one? An intimate act. They talking about sexual intercourse on that. And what is the true meaning? Oh, intimacy means a deep sense of closeness, connection, and belonging built on mutual vulnerability, trust, and understanding, going beyond just sex to include emotional, mental, intellectual, and spiritual bonds in any relationship. And I think that women nowadays are trying to be so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
trying to, I don't need no man. I don't this. That's fine. And I think too many women are embodying the pain of other women and bringing it to their relationship.
Hmm.
It's like, yo, I don't mind you being empathetic about what's going on with other women, but don't bring it to our situation because her situation is not your situation.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, I agree with that. And I think, like you just said, I mean, and I got an issue with the fact that like why women have to be so, like you said, I don't think it's all right that everybody want to be that hard. We got to break that down one of
Yep.
our conversations as well too, because um, I mean, I get it because they've had to feel like they had to do so much by themselves for so long. I get it. Okay, I understood that. But then you have to realize that you've been doing that by yourself and now you have someone. And I get it, it takes time to trust, right? It takes time to be like, I feel safe with this person. I got to do these type of things. Because it's the same thing with us as well, too. Like, I mean, you finally get with somebody like, okay, I got some issues. I got some shit from the past that I'm holding on to. I thought I wasn't holding on to them, but shit, we are. And that takes time to trust that person to be vulnerable from this point. And that will affect, just like any new relationship, like we think intimacy is so dope in the beginning because it's fun, it's new, right? It's exciting, and it's all the rest of that. But it's a difference between intimacy and fucking. And I think
Yep.
that's the part that so many people miss. And then when you really jump into, like you said, people want to talk about mansplaining or whatever from this point in time. It's like, no, it comes a point in time we should have a conversation about, hey, you know what, babe, I kind of prefer this, I like this, some things that you said from this point in time. This is cool, but this kind of affected me, made me feel like this. It's not mansplaining. It's just it's called adulting and being
Yeah.
articulate, learning how to say, you know what, I can articulate my feelings and tell you what I like and what I don't like. And then we can have a discussion about it. Because like you talked about it before, like, a couple sessions ago, we were talking about it. Everybody gonna have their shit, but everybody should be able to explain what their shit is. Like,
Yep.
I don't put enough work in this time in my life that yeah, I kind of know where this is coming from now,
Mm-hmm.
and then and I just I care for you enough to be able to explain it to you. And I think that's the part that I think a lot of women need to understand from men. It's just that if a man cares for you enough to explain that to you, you got somebody who really cares about you.
Yep.
Because most men is like, yeah, I ain't even gonna waste my time. So I don't care about her enough to explain this shit to
Hey,
her.
I've been there.
Yeah, yeah, right. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna think what you're gonna think. You're gonna feel how you feel. But when you got somebody who's like, listen, let me tell you this from this point in time, that's somebody who's really digging you, and that's the part with intimacy that they can let down some pride from that point. Like go back to my man
Right.
was saying. So yeah. So all right, I like 10. I agree with my man on 10.
I want
Pride.
to piggyback off something you said about women having issues because they've done so much for so long by themselves.
Hmm.
Just one question: how many of those women suffer from the superwoman complex?
I think that's a high percentage. It's a very high percentage. You know.
What is it called? Hyper independency,
Okay. Okay.
where it's
Makes sense.
just I got to do this, I got to do this, and it's like you don't have to.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
who Claudia Jordan is?
No, her name sounds familiar though, but I'm not. Like bring it. Her name
I ain't
sounds
gonna lie
familiar.
to you. She had a podcast with Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox, and I forgot
Yeah.
the other person's name. Oh, the chick Selena that sung that song with R. Kelly or whatnot.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, Claudia Jordan was doing a podcast, because she and Vivica Fox and them, they really hated Kevin Samuels. They hated his
Okay.
guts. But she's, nowadays, now that she's gotten older, and everything Kevin was saying is happening in her life, right? And she was
Okay.
saying that a lot of women take on a lot of things and nobody ever asked them to. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, the sisterhood gonna be mad at your ass.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what
She
I'm
breaking
saying?
the code. She breaking the code.
You breaking the code, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what she said, she said, women take on things because they just feel like I gotta do it because nobody else can do it. No, you gotta start trusting people to
Yeah.
do stuff.
Yeah.
I used to tell my mom,
Yeah.
rest in peace to the old lady, man. You know, I used to tell her, man, she'd say, Sherrod, I need you to do something. And I'd be like, all right, dig this. I'll do it for you. But if you need it done today, you got to find somebody to do it. But if
Mhm.
you can
Right.
wait a minute, I got you.
Right.
And it would burn her up to have to wait to, like, look, I'm only one person. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? It's
Right.
like,
Right.
I say, look, call my other brothers. Call them and see if they can do
Right. Is that right? Right. You want it done so bad, but but I'm calling you from this point. Yeah, I see. I see your point from that point. Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
going to do number 9, bruh.
Okay. I like your point.
Dishonesty.
We're gonna do bring that back. But I'm sorry, I cut you off. You said what
No,
now?
no, 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 go ahead. No, no, bring it back. Bring it back.
No, no, no. Go ahead with nine, because we can
Okay.
add it to nine.
Okay, number 9 is dishonesty.
Oh yeah, very much so. Oh yeah, that's definitely. I mean, I could be a little bit high. I don't know what the other lists are, but nine can be a little bit higher. I think for me, that's a big one. You know what I'm saying? Like, and in both ways. Like, I see how times that I've lied and
Yeah.
been dishonest, where it's right, it's really fucked up my intimacy from this point in time because I'm in her head. You know what I'm saying? Like I know this nigga. I know he not telling me the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't telling me the truth. He ain't honest from this point in time. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I can battle with it, like you said, that pride thing of being like, I am telling you the truth, but underneath, I'm not giving you the whole truth from this point in time because
Yeah.
I'm feeling like um, if I tell you the truth, you're not gonna be able to handle it, right? I'm gonna hurt you. But the reality of me just telling a hat, so I'm gonna tell you what I'm good at. Okay, so I'm gonna put it all out there for the universe. Like what I've learned in my life, man, is that I was really good at telling half truths. Like so, I kind of told you the truth. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't tell you kind of all of it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
Like yeah, was me and old girl together before? Yeah, you know, but it really wasn't like this or like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I kind of told you the truth, but I really didn't tell you the whole truth from this point in time. And that's that's gotten me in trouble. That's gotten me in trouble in the past from this point in time. And it has affected intimacy in this way
Right.
because once somebody sees you as a liar, it's hard to kind of come back from that. It's hard to.
Bruh. You
It's hard
could
to come.
you could
Yeah.
tell them the truth, show them the truth.
Mm-hmm.
You could draw that shit out for them, a diagram. Once you've lied and
Yeah.
especially if it's a major lie.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, bruh. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna just pack my bags
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
because it's
Like,
gonna be hard to return from
gonna
this.
be hard. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, brother. It's gonna be hard, man. Yeah, and you know what? And some of that, to go back to what you were saying before, we can add that to that part of dishonesty, is that I think that's some of the reasons why a lot of times with women, um, feel like they gotta do much stuff by themselves, right? Because that's still about breaking trust.
Okay.
It's like you broke trust. You broke trust from this way in time. So if I can't trust you with um the small shit, how can I trust you with the big things? And I think
Right.
that happens this way. So yeah, I definitely agree with dishonesty, man. Dishonesty is a big one, you know, because it rolls into so many other things. You know what I'm saying? You dishonest, you disloyal. Like I remember my mom used to have this saying, like shit, like, man, I never trust a liar and a cheater. You know what I'm saying? Don't lie to me, a liar and a thief. I know my mom used to say that, liar and a thief. Like, man, it's two of the worst things you could be. And I was like, well, maybe the stealing part ain't too much, but I don't lie through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
them times. So yeah, man, you learn what you
No,
learn,
not the same old bird and my father and them, man. It was if you lie, you'll steal. If you steal, you'll kill.
There you go. There you go. Yes, yes, yes. Right. That's it. Yes, yes. Was that in every black household or something? That'd be interesting to see if every black parent said that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man,
Yep. If you lie, you will steal. And if you steal, you'll kill. Yep. Yeah, that one right there, brother. Man, black families, boy, our black sayings, man.
bruh. Look, black sands and plastic on the couch.
Right, right. And plastic in the living room, you knew not to sit on that. Like, man, that is so true.
Man,
Like,
shit.
bro,
You
nigga,
sit on
yeah,
that shit in the summertime, your back of your legs wet.
should be sweating like, man. That was our families, man. We didn't have much, so they was trying to preserve what we had. You know what
Preserve
I'm
whatever
saying?
we had, man. Hey, you
What
know
we-
what? That and like I said, we ain't gonna deviate too far off the topic, but back in the day, man, it was about cherishing the little things that you had. It may not be the most valuable, the most whatever, but what we had was, hey man, we appreciated it.
Appreciate it.
You know,
Yep.
I remember, man, uh, it, the couch in the den, man, before we got new, it had a brick up under that boy, right?
Yes. Yeah, they wanted to be it like that too, bro. My dad was gonna get it fixed at some point, but at this point, hey, wasn't nothing wrong with it.
Hey, a brick.
Yeah, yeah, bro. Man, I tell you, man.
What's that? The
Simple
pliers to turn the TV and the hanger for the antenna.
hanger for the antenna, right? Man, damn, man, them days, man. But we did it though.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? But we figured it all out, bro.
yeah,
And we all
yeah.
came out of it more than okay.
You
More
know
than
what, man? I
okay.
used to think my upbringing was so terrible, man, until, you know, I got out here and I started listening to other people.
Yeah.
And, I had
Yeah.
one of those families, man, where, hey, man, they just gonna cut you. Like, if it's something to be said, they gonna say it, right? And I thought
Yeah.
that was, I was like, man, my father was Mr. Sarcastic. My mom yelled a lot and this and that and the other. But then as I got older and I was hearing other people and how they kind of suppress their feelings. And it's like, so you really, you and your sisters and them didn't really, or you and your brother and them, y'all ain't check a motherfucker like, you know.
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
just kind of just went about our way and no, man, in our family it was just one of those things like, man, that was some fucked up shit to do. And
Yeah.
it was handled right there, boom. So,
Yeah, it was addressed. You didn't have to hold that shit. Excuse me. You didn't
no,
have to guess. You never had to guess what somebody else was feeling.
hell no.
And you know what, Sherrod, the cool part about this, bro, like, is that skill set in my family, my dad taught us that. It wasn't my mom who taught us that. My dad was the one who taught us that. That, like, you had the ability to articulate your feelings. my mom was more so like, that Southern upbringing, like a child stays in a child's place. Now, my dad understood that as well too. But when
Mm-hmm.
it came down to things that you had a problem with, my dad, we would have family meetings. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we would literally sit down in the back room, bro, like in a den, and have a family meeting. Like,
Oh, damn.
yeah. So it was like everybody, said what they needed to say. And I brought that into my own children's part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So because it made me feel like we always had a voice. And at the end of the day, when you look back on it, my parents really had the fucking final say. They was gonna do the shit they was gonna do anyway. But it made you feel like you can, but you had the ability to articulate how your feelings, how you felt. And it's crazy because as we talking about intimacy, in a lot of my relationships, that was always an issue. Like,
Mm.
sometimes in relationships, because a lot of women didn't understand. Like, I was able to always articulate my feelings. And it was like, what the fuck? Like, it almost felt like I was soft to them. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
know what?
Because it was, yeah, like it's
Yeah.
just anger. It's like, no, I know the difference between I'm being upset and I'm angry and I'm disappointed. I know the difference. And I can articulate.
Right.
I'm not mad at you. I'm hurt. I'm disappointed. And it's like, the fuck? So when you're younger, you try to explain that to somebody, and it's like, like, dang, like you just let that go. Yeah, man, it's cool. You said what you felt. So it's cool. Now I understand. And it's like, don't you want to argue about, like, we don't need to argue about it. It's no need to argue. What are we
Right.
arguing about? You feel me? But it goes back to that part. Like, you got to be able to trust somebody enough with your feelings. So yeah, that took some while. That took a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the cool part about that, dude, is I got that skill set from my father.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's jump to number 8, man.
All right.
This a big, like you said, I don't think they're in any particular order because this is a biggie too, man. It's called the past. The most paralyzing thing we can do to our relationship is to define our spouse by their past rather than by who they are in the present.
Yeah. 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 That is a big one. That's a big one, man. Um. Yeah. Okay. So how do you have those conversations about that with your partner in regards to, like, their past relationships?
Oh yeah, hell yeah,
Yeah, yeah, me too.
yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
I think it's
I
very
need to
important.
know. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
Because I want to know. You know, and I guess if we say the past, when it comes to women, we want to know. I don't need to know a particular body count, but
Right.
if it was you were just excessively out there just in your whole phase at one point, my
Right.
thing is this: is it still affecting you mentally right now? You know,
Yeah.
because there was something that caused you to go out there and do some reckless shit like this,
Right.
right? There
Yeah.
was something that was out there. You was just giving of yourself freely, and for anybody that want to say there's no difference between a man having a high body count and a woman, you're sadly mistaken. There's a big difference. There's a big difference, and and I think that most women, you know, it is about emotional connection, you know.
I
But
agree.
now, if you could just go out here and just sleep with this person, that person, no problem. Like, damn, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, man. I've had times where in relationships has been very open. We can talk about it. And I've had times in relationships where people were like, why you want to know that? What's this? Why is that so important? And I think for me, it was the matter of, like, and I mean, I know guys who are like, man, shit, dog, everybody got a pass. And I'm like, that's true. I get that. But at the same time, I look at it as, and it's just my personal preference towards it. Like, I'm feeling like, man, I got this, a winner on my arm. And then shit, I done walked into some spot and the niggas like, dog,
Oh,
dog.
snap.
Right,
That's
right, right.
jawbone.
Yo, that's stupid. Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, shit, nigga, I'm the first, I'm the best, I'm this and this and this. And it's like, dudes looking like, shh, yeah, what up, though? You know what I'm saying? They calling her by something else. Like you said, what's up, Joe? You're like,
Right.
Joe? Oh no, they just, I don't know. I'm like, yeah. So um, like you said, I don't need to know everything. I don't need to know all the particulars from this point in time. But I do think that we need to be honest about our past, though,
Yep.
with our partner, particularly with people that we really care about. And I think I've learned that now from the door, like for real. Like as I'm dating now, I'm like, listen, you know, um, hey, just so such and such, the one, whatever, particularly if it's somebody that I know that this person may know, it's like,
Oh, okay.
just so that, yeah, me and old girl slept together. You know what I'm saying? We were in a relationship together from this point in time. You don't got to know all the details about like what happened and everything else. But if you want to talk about it, we can, because I'm an open book. Let's be an open book
Right.
about it. But I don't ever want anything to be a surprise to you. You feel me? That some chick comes up to you and be like, yeah, I was with, I was with him, I was with Philip and everything else. And it's like, and then you like, dang, like, why didn't you just tell me that? And I'm like, that's a good point. Just let you know what you're walking into, and then you get to decide what you want to do with it.
Right.
You know? But you can't say I didn't tell you that I wasn't honest enough with you about it. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't got to go into all the stuff that we did and everything else like that. But at the same time, I'm still one of those type of people. If you ask the question, it's like, is this something you really want to know? And it's like,
Right.
if you
Right.
really want to know it, I mean, I'll tell you, but just make sure that you really want to know and what's your reason for knowing it. Because look, this is how I get down, and this is what it is. And so I have
Yeah.
no secret with that, from this point. But I'm not gonna share stuff that may be something that's sacred to the other person because
Yep.
that's only fair. But I think the past does that because I think it has some comparisons from this point in time. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think it starts, but then you got to process it. There's some things that that women have told me and stuff like that of like, been with this person and everything else like this, and I'm like, damn, okay. And I was in my feelings about it initially. You know what I'm saying? I had to step
Right.
away from and be like, damn, okay, well, shit, that was before me, and this is who I am, and this is what I bring to the table, and if you really digging them, you can work through that shit. You can always
Right.
work through that stuff. You know what I'm saying? If this who you with, you see what this person is about. So yeah, because all you can do is be yourself. You can't
Right.
control what
You,
the kids
you
past.
know what? And maybe this is just my way of thinking right here. I think women truly have like one real love in their life.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And hear me out. It's one of those things where, I learned a term called alpha widow.
Mm. That's a new one. I never heard of that.
So alpha widow, let me mansplain to you.
Yeah, because I'm about you got me looking this thing on up. You know what I'm saying? Let me
Okay. All right. Now, an alpha widow is a slang term describing a woman who having previously experienced a relationship with an exceptionally high status or intense partner, an alpha male, becomes unable to emotionally or mentally bond with subsequent partners, constantly comparing them to the past ex. So basically, dude was the best that she feels like he was the pinnacle of all men,
mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that man right there is that guy that could always come back in, smash anytime he want. And
Mm.
when I talk to females, man, that's why I want be open and honest with me, because tell me what kind of guy he was, because I've kicked it with a female one time, man, and speaking about her past, you could just see it on her face when she spoke about him.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, men know. Yeah, yeah.
it's like okay, and then you know, and yeah, he did something to me that was really egregious, this and that and the other, and then like I said, I keep these things in my head. So then later on, she tells me, yeah, but yeah, I talked to my ex and, he wanted to apologize for. I was like, you might as well go back to him because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. At some
Damn, why are
point.
you saying that? I said, because I can read your face. I
Yeah.
read, I saw it in your eyes every time you talk about him. I
Yeah.
said, and the thing is, I'm not hurt by it because I know that for some women that I've dealt with, I could always go back.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Very
know what
much
I'm
so.
saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yes.
it's like that's who you probably need to try to be with because, when you described him, you described the person that closely aligned to who you are and what you like to do. I'm not him.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this: do you think that that was a certain age at that point? Do you think as you get older that changes?
You know what? It could change, but you know what? I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I don't think that most people change who they are. I think they
I agree.
suppress. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? I think they kind of just say you was a fucked up individual, right? I think you still that fucked up person, but you just know how to suppress it and push it
Yeah.
aside
Yeah.
because. But when that argument come up, you become that fucked up individual right out. You
Yeah.
just that person, and and it's like everything is in us. The good, the bad. It's all in us.
I
It's
agree.
all
I
about
agree.
how do we control it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know,
true. Yeah, that's true. Man, that is so that is yeah, that is definitely true from that point. Yeah, that's real talk. I mean, I think that's a good one. That really is that's a dope podcast all on Powercast all on its
Oh,
own. To be honest,
I already, bro, I got this one already.
lined
I
up.
want the
Okay,
fellas. I want everybody on this
okay,
one though.
okay. Yeah, that's a good one because I agree with that. I think that I mean, I can look back on myself. You know what I'm saying? Like there's for a long time, like my daughter's mom, my oldest daughter, that was my first love. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay.
as an adult, you know what I mean? Like as a young adult, and I think a lot of times that love is deep. Like, like that initial love that people have, people call it puppy love, right? Like when people like high school love and stuff like this. But that's your initial state understand of love, right? So because it's embellished so much a lot of times, I think, right? And so it's 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 simple, it's naive, it's innocent,
It's
right?
carefree.
It's free, right? And it's like that amazing part of it. But I think as people grow, and you always got somebody who's a standard, and I think for me, for her, she was always a standard for me from this point, right? Because it was my first love, but there was things that was just we just had problems at certain points in times. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just some things like because you learning how to share space together. You first live with this first person you live with, so you're sharing this space together. We have a child, so you learn how to parent together,
Yeah.
you learn how to do co-parenting, all the rest of this type of shit. And we
And y'all
both
form
bump.
certain bonds and connections.
Yeah, exactly, very much so. And so a lot of times it's not that this person is better than someone else. It's just in your mind, it's like how things in that relationship when it breaks up, like what you could have kind of done better. Like, you know what, like
Right.
now with the skill set that I got now as I got older, it's like, yeah, we could have kind of communicated and worked through this part a little bit more. And you see that person's growth from this point in time, right? And so when other people come along in other relationships, there's other qualities that you see in them too, but that first love is just a really deep type of bond and love. And it depends on how it is because, sometimes it ain't always about the sex. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you meet people who can just, they fuck you better, they do all the rest of this type of stuff better. But, then the question is like, well, what is better? Because now it goes back to we talking about intimacy, right? So it's like,
Right.
yeah, it's not about all the rest of that. It was just that the way this person touched me, the way that she nurtured me, the way she, cared for me in this way. like, no, she may not have done it this way and did this and can do all the rest of this type of stuff. And, her oral game is this, head game is that. You like at some point in time, that ain't the shit that you really miss, that you value. And I think a lot of people think that men think that they value that. But most men value the woman the most who really took care of them and nurtured that childlike, boyish thing for them. You know what I mean? So,
You,
and I think women have a hard time with that to understand that this way.
and I try my best, not to compare the past to the present,
Yeah,
right? You know, because I think that's really unfair to the person that's coming in because you're not giving them a true
yeah,
chance to show you who they are, right?
yeah,
Because I think for me, communication is a big thing. Like you said, women always think it's sex,
yeah,
and it's like, nah, sex is one of those things. As I've grown older, I've just looked at sex as a physical manifestation of what we do to prove how I truly feel about you. You
yeah,
know, because when I
yeah.
was younger, it was just all about bang, 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 bang.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I
right.
I ain't
Yeah.
had to talk to you. I ain't even got to know your name. As a matter
Right,
of
right,
fact,
right, right. I don't know your middle name. I don't even know your name. I don't even know your last name and shit. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
like,
Right, right. You say call, yeah. You call you Strawberry. Okay, Strawberry. I don't even know your
okay,
damn name. But that's
that's
what we
all it
doing.
is.
Right,
Reckless as hell out here. Just,
right.
hey, you,
Ski, ski.
you want some dick? Here you go.
Yeah, right, right, right. You
Just
get
out
some
there
dick. You
throwing,
get some dick.
just
Right.
throwing it at everybody. But nowadays, man, as I gotten older, you know, it's like I don't think as much. I know I said earlier, folks don't change, but I think it was more or less. Now it's just like, um, I'm the communication. I've always loved to talk to people. Let me kick it to you. It's
Yeah,
just now. It's moved up on my priority list. It's
yeah.
always been there, but my mission back in the day was to get some brew in the morning. Get some brew. You know,
Mm.
hustle for a couple of dollars. Find me a thickie. you know,
And I'm
and
and I'm
that's
in for the
it.
night. Right, right.
I'm just here for the bullshit.
Yeah, yeah. Right, right. And yeah, I agree. Yeah, and you
But
creating it too.
but I
Yeah,
ultimately knew that it was wrong.
yeah, yeah.
So I had this internal battle with myself, knowing
Yeah,
right from wrong, but feeling like wrong was funner.
yeah, it
Another one of
was.
them. It was funner
It
than
was.
being right. You know.
You know, being, yeah. And I agree. And it is. Back then it is fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it is. It's the same way, like, with the woman who likes the bad boy. I remember my aunt told me that years ago. She was like, listen, babe, every woman wants the bad boy. You know what I'm saying?
Hybristophiliacs.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Right. The bad boy is fun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's dangerous. It's
Constant stimulation.
exactly right. So it's already clicked into the dopamine receptors in your brain this point in
Yeah.
time from this point. So it's automatically it's going to be good from what they think. And the same thing like when a woman at some point in time, like they want the guy who's the drug dealer, and that's like, yeah, I want this guy who does this, and then you start to grow and realize like, yeah, but like this not stable. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like he's in and out of jail, is going through this type of stuff. How long can you keep hanging out at the bars and all the rest of this type of stuff? It gets tired after a while. And so you look for some stability. And I think we all kind of battle with that. So with that comparison part, like you said, someone in the past from this point, it's not, yeah, I think it's always going to be someone that you love because you really hope that they have this. It's people that you really, because I dated a girl one time, and she was saying that about her son father. It's usually like their son, they have a child with this person. So with her
Okay.
son father, and I think really what she wanted was just that. I think I reminded her of him in some ways, but
Oh
it
wow.
was that fact that but I had my shit together and stable. It was like, man, this is how I see him, how he would be if he ever got his shit together. You know what I'm
I
saying?
see.
And to be honest with you, I really was the type of dude that I was like, if old boy wasn't an asshole, I really would sit down and talk to him and be like, look, bro, like for real, bro, like you got a good one over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, if you get your shit together, bro, like, yeah, I can probably make that shit work. You know, because it's somebody like that I care for, but I care for her enough to be like kind of what you were saying earlier. I care for you enough to be like, you know, that's really where you should be at.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And women don't think that we know understand that. It's like, you know, y'all can really make that shit work. I'm damn near like, you know, like how you got that friend, like, yeah, we cool, I'm fucking you, but at the same time, I'm counseling you at the same time. Like, you know, y'all can make that shit work. You know what I'm saying? You know how dudes are like, I'm giving you counsel like this point, but I'm gonna fuck you at the same time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have my selfish shit, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Right.
you
This
know,
payment. This payment for the
right,
therapy.
right, it's right. Just pay me. We gonna you get your payment. You know what I'm saying? Right, you're right. But you know, everybody has that. But as you grow, you realize that it's other stuff that you value and that you need. And so, even though you may still have feelings for this other person over here, as you grow up, you realize that in the past, the intimacy that you need now, because sometimes I've had women who go back to somebody and they like, you know what? Damn, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Because
Right.
they was hoping that it would be, they would have that with this person. And they realized that this person like hasn't grown from a point of the intimacy part. Like, yeah, y'all fuck, but the fuck ain't even good no more because it's like, damn, we was just fucking. Like with this guy over here, like, man, with you know, I've said, you know, women have said this, like, damn, with Philip, like, man, we had these conversations and we talk, and you know, you're more gentle and patient with my body and all the rest of this type of stuff. You like, damn, I thought that I would be able to. I thought that he would have grown to that point, but he ain't fucking like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Well,
like
he's still that's the problem. He's still fucking.
still fucking exactly, bro. Boom.
That's
That part.
it.
That's it.
Question:
Yeah.
have you ever, at that at your age now, or just as you matured and got older, ever
Mhm.
look back into the past at somebody you said, "I love you too," and you realize that was just, I didn't love you. I just loved you for what it was you was doing that I loved, whether it
Yeah.
be, hey, when I was down, you had
Yeah.
my back.
Yeah.
When I needed, you had the woman that was, hey, super sexual, because it's like we got stages,
We got
right?
stages. Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
And it's like, man, at one point, hey, I'm just looking for the chick that's slanging ass all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love your ass, you know what I'm saying? And
Right,
it's just
right. You give me what
literally,
I want. Yeah, you give me what I wanted at that
right.
time. Yeah, and it's like in that moment, I guess in that moment you do love them, like you care for them enough, like so it's a battle between care and love from this point. And
Okay.
then as you grow, you look back on it and be like, yeah, I was just at that place at that time. I hadn't really grown to really
Yeah.
understand what I like you and I was talking about before. I haven't grown. Let me finish that statement. I haven't grown to say what I really need, right? Or what I really, because I didn't understand at that point. It took me time to get to say, like when I came out of certain relationships, I can tell you what I didn't want, right? I didn't want a
Okay.
woman to be nagging me, to be doing all the rest type of stuff. But I really couldn't tell you what I needed though. You
Okay.
see what I'm saying? It took me time to finally get to that point to be like, well, what am I really expecting from a woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's my need from this point? So now I was able to, as I grew, and not you just in grow intimately, like you grow your personal growth, your spiritual growth, your everyday development. When you get to that point, then you're able to come back and tell somebody, like you said, from a conversation and be like, hey, this is what's important to me. This is what value I value from this point in time. And then y'all have this point because here's the thing with this. What people don't realize, like, I want to minimize this because it's very important.
Okay.
Like, pimps really got it right years ago, right? Like, you get a woman's mind and vice versa. If a woman gets that man's mind from this point in time, like, you got him. But most women think that I can fuck my way to his heart. That's you're not going to do that, right? Like that's it's very subjective and it's very minimal, right? It's not sustainable. It doesn't scale, right? It doesn't scale from this point.
Yeah.
What scales as men mature and men get older from this point in time and get more mature, it's like they value the woman that respects them and understands where they're coming from this point in time. And that intimacy is a dope ass fucking place to be. So
Yeah.
we're already fucking when we having these conversations on the
Yeah.
phone and we going out to dinner. And the guy point in time, he's understand like the conversation is dope, but we don't already fuck technically, like mentally, psychologically, we don't already fuck. So now we just already know it's gonna be good physically. We're just gonna make sure how it feels physically, but we already there intimately. You know what I'm
And
saying?
see,
Psychologically, and sex is psychological.
the communication, the ability to communicate, that intimate communication, that's going
Yep.
to lead to more passion, more affection.
Yep.
If you
Yep.
can't, if you one of those individuals that says, I really don't like to talk, I really don't woo, 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 well then how can you get to a level of passion and affection, the whole 9 yards? And see, let's keep it a buck. Passion and affection doesn't necessarily mean sex.
Yes. Exactly.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Boom. Yep.
But when you put passion, affection, and intimacy into sex, that becomes great sex. Because guess what? Great sex is all about connection.
Yep.
It's a
Yep.
bunch of good pussy out here. You know,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you get that
as long
anywhere.
as
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
bust a nut, it's
Yeah.
wet, she willing to do some this and this and this. But then afterwards, it's like,
Yeah.
so shit, you got to go to work in the morning, right? It
Right.
can be 12 o'clock in the afternoon and shit, but you got to work in the morning, right?
TikTok, motherfucker, TikTok.
And
Right.
it's like,
Right.
but when you really connect with somebody, I mean, are men most of the time ready to have sex? Of course,
Yeah.
of course. But do I
Yeah.
need it all the time? No, I don't.
Yeah. Like the other
You know,
stuff matters so much more.
oh man,
So much more, bro. So much more. It's like, I think that, for the women who are listening to that, and I mean, it's goes the same way with women. Like, like, okay, you bring a guy over, he come over to the house and y'all fuck. And it's like, okay, like, I gotta go to work in the morning. Yeah, you got your fix from this point, like, I
yeah,
came, I got my nut, I'm good at this point in time, and I can keep it moving. But at some point, what you're really missing is we're human. So we need that intimate connection. Like we need that. Like we need those connections. And so, like you just said, man, like having those conversations with, like, as you get older, you realize how much those things are important. Like how do you think? How do you see the world? What's important to you in life? Can you articulate that? You feel me? Like,
hmm
if we're not having those type of conversations about those type of things, man, then what are we doing? Like 100, I'll keep it a buck with you. Like I can jack off for all the rest of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I can watch some porn and come and I'm
yeah.
good. Like, and I ain't got to deal with none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I done came, I'm good. I'm going to bed. I'm going to sleep.
Hell, look, they got
You
the
got
sex dolls out here now.
right, yeah, right. Shit, they got everything that somebody can, you know what I'm saying, from this point. So it's like, but what are you bringing to the table that we had these conversations? You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
those conversations are dope and who you are. Like, like who are you? You feel me? Like
yep.
that's what matters, man. That's what matters at this point in time now. And if you're not, and if you somebody I got to sit here and battle with every conversation or argument on, man, I ain't got time for that shit, man. Anybody,
No,
no,
bro.
who has time for that? I don't give a fuck how good it is. I don't give a fuck what you doing in the bedroom from this point in time. It's like, yeah, that's cool, man, but I ain't trying to be dealing with that all the time. You know what
Because
I'm saying?
it's like you have this great intimate moment sexually with somebody, and then as soon as you out of the bedroom, you battling. So it's that constant up and down. It's, that break up to make up bullshit. It's like, look, man, that was just a song. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
you're right, 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 right.
Shit, though.
Yeah, yeah, it get tiring, man. It gets exhausting. And you're
You
right.
know,
So it's really understanding intimacy, bro. Like I think it's like we just said before, it's really truly defining intimacy. And you have to find people that agree with where you at intimately, right? Like,
yeah,
like is there this connection? Like we're not always going to agree on everything, but where are we at as far as like, okay, we're gonna dive a little bit deeper. Fuck it, we're gonna stay here for a second. Um, because just because you did something in the past to somebody, right? Like I'll just keep it 100 with me. I keep it a buck from this point in time. Like of course, every woman feels like the part like with Biggie. It's like, if the head right, Biggie there every night. You know what I'm saying? This point,
Right,
right?
right.
I'm not a big head person, and so I have women who are like, what? You just ain't had nobody give you head this way. And so they go in ham, like, and I'm like, I'm not,
Fuck
I'm not
around.
saying that.
Fuck around, jaw locked up in the back.
Right. Trying to prove a point, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Right. You out here trying to, it's like, it's a competition. And it's
Hmm.
like, no, but I'm telling you, I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I just said
Right.
I never come from it, right? It's part of foreplay for me, right? It's foreplay. I enjoy it from this point in time. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers out here going ham. I'm like, yeah, calm down, little boy. You know what I
Hey,
mean? Shit.
hey, man, I can just imagine by the time she get done, we old as hell. We like, are you done yet?
Your
We
ass
old
is
as fuck.
stupid, dog. Right, right. Yeah, we done yet? I want some soup. Right. Your ass
Okay,
stupid, bro.
okay, we a serious podcast again.
Oh man, your ass is stupid, bro. Like, are you done yet? Your ass. Oh man, man,
But you
yes,
know what, bro? When I hear women denounce intimacy, oh, I'm this, I don't want no man, this and the other. Well, that's your prerogative. But what I would tell any woman is either your past has led you to a point where you felt like you've had so much meaningless sex and you've given yourself to men that didn't respect you, didn't love you. You thought you was out there playing the game that you think we play. And then
yeah,
you realize that you was catching feelings and these dudes was catching and releasing.
yeah, yeah, very much so.
It's like, hey, when you hear a woman, hey, I just go out and when I hear a woman that's that speaks sexually in front of everybody,
Yeah,
like she a dude, like in the plant,
yeah,
it's like that shit
yeah.
is such a turn off. You be like, you know what? Y'all think that shit sounds sexy. Y'all think that shit is a turn on. But the only thing a dude is thinking in the back of his mind, I'm a bender and sender.
Yep, exactly.
That's
Yeah,
it. That's
yeah,
that's all she could ever be.
yep. Yeah, and you may find that one dude. You know how you always get them one dudes to
Oh
be
man,
like run through the chick that's been ran through, and they like,
the
no, wait a
handcuffer.
minute. Yeah, I love her, bro. You can't come over here no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Her name is not Superhead. Her name is Stephanie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like no, nigga, she's Superhead, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Trust me, like that's who she is, bro. You know what I mean? But I agree with
Oh
that
shit.
point, man, because we just have to have like to go back to that point, it's like you can tell people that, like, okay, that's what it is.
Hmm.
But what that just taught me is just that you're not listening to what I'm trying to tell you. Let me
Right.
finish my point, is my thing to like, yeah, I didn't say that I didn't enjoy it. I just said I never came from it. Now, if that doesn't mean that won't ever happen, but it doesn't move you a notch above somebody else because you did
Right.
that, because that's not what this thing is. But if I tell you I'm at a point in time in my life in intimacy, I can tell you what I like how I like to be touched, how I like to be kissed, how I like to be held from this point in time, certain ways in intimacy from this point in time. Like, I'm an older brother, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time for all of this. Like, we're gonna slow roll this thing. Let's do whatever this point. I now can tell you what my body needs.
Yep.
And now you may or may not be able to fulfill that from this point in time, but you got to respect the fact that I told you that. And the
Hmm.
same way with the other person, like in the middle of it, like you can say, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go down here, nigga. I'm gonna eat the shit out this pussy, nigga. She ain't doing it. And she like, yeah, I ain't really, just take your time. Just, you like, no, I'm gonna try to make you come. It's like, no,
You up
take
here
your
looking
time.
like Cookie Monster. Yum, yum, yum,
Right,
yum, yum.
right, exactly, right. You down there going ham. And she like, just, we'll get to this. I like this a
Like,
little bit better. I like when
slow
you,
down.
yeah, just slow you, touch me here, play at my breast, do all this type of shit, right?
Yeah.
If you ain't that type of person who thinking you just like, no, I'm gonna give it to you this way, man, that's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of coaching, a lot of understanding. But you got to be a person who's open up to a pre. It's like, tell me what you like.
You got to be
I
like
want to
Burger King. You can have it your way.
put your way. What's
Yep.
enjoyable, right? And then we're gonna find our own little ways in the midst of all that. Like,
Yep.
oh damn, I didn't. I like when you did this. Like, damn, I never had no. And that's what make the difference with intimacy.
Right.
So whatever you done in the past, now this person like, damn, I never knew that shit. I like when you bite my earlobe. Like, damn, I ain't never had that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, I like when you do it. You know what I'm saying? Like the way you did it made me feel in this moment. That's the shit that grow when you grow. That's growth of intimacy, right? That's how you
Yep.
get to this thing, man. That now you appreciate those things because that's communication in and out of the bedroom.
Yep.
That's it, man. Let this thing go. You know?
Yeah. Number 7, loose boundaries. Yep.
Yeah.
Loose boundaries. We tend to think about offensive play in marriage, forgetting that defensive strategy is just as important. We can be doing all the right things, while still failing to keep out the things that are harmful. Draw a circle around your marriage and protect it by guarding your emotions, your interactions, and the way you spend your time. And I can I can be honest about the loose boundaries, and allowing folks that shouldn't be close to the
Mm-hmm.
relationship or close to me while I'm in a relationship to be
Yeah.
close to me, you
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
you cannot be doing something, but it still doesn't look right.
That's true.
Especially if that other person is like, hey, I don't like this, can we? It's like, okay, man, for the sake of their um, sanity, to make them feel more secure about who we are together, it's time to push away folks, and that I think that's a slippery slope too, because we don't want to have to discard everybody that this person is
Yeah.
insecure
Fine.
about, but
Yeah.
there we have to be, I think, mindful
I
because
agree.
you know on the outside looking in, other people can read the body language. Be like, hold
Yeah.
on, wait a minute. They either fucked before or they wanted to or something happened,
I
you
agree.
know. And
Yeah.
I feel the energy between the two.
Yeah. And women can pick up on that shit real quick. So if guys don't know that and guys listening right now, trust me, like that is a part of that women intuition that women are really innate with and who they are in their soul from this point in time. Now, some of it's not always true. It's like some shit is misdirected or misguided
Hmm.
from this point in time, right? But the majority of time, 9 times out of 10 out of that, they're absolutely right from that point. And you're right. Now I've gotten in trouble from that point as well too. Like, oh, this person, that yeah, this just my friend. We ain't this type of shit, da da da, blah blah blah. And it is maybe somebody I fucked around with and everything else like that. And it's like, no, bro, you gotta learn how to. I'm learning that. I've learned that. Like I really have learned that some of this shit, man, you gotta really cut off. Like if you
Right.
serious about this person you want to be with from this point in time, you know, and you got to be honest enough with yourself. Like it's somebody who's hanging around that, what I mean. Like this chick right here, like I may not have fucked her, but if I say go, I
Yeah,
know
it's a
we can
go.
fuck. You see
It's
what
a
I'm
go.
saying? It's go.
Yeah.
And that's not fair to my partner, and it's not fair to me, right? So yeah, you got to learn how to set those boundaries, and and women gonna talk shit just like how men talk shit. Like damn, so
Yeah.
yeah, she got you open all like that and shit. That da da da.
And they're competitive.
They competitive. Yeah, women are very competitive, bro. They more probably competitive than men.
You know
Like,
why? You know what? I think women have more ambition. See, everybody think ambition is this great word. You got to be careful with ambition because ambition will lead you to do whatever it takes to win. And
win. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
more women are take no prisoner types than men are.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, very much so. I agree with that. I definitely agree with you on that point, bro. Like I've experienced that. I've had, we've all had that, where because I think women see men and they know what they like and they know what they want.
Yeah.
But I also think that women know like I had a woman tell me one time, bro, years ago. She was like, finally we had a conversation about something. And she was like, yeah, I knew you weren't getting fucked right. And I'm like, damn, how the fuck you know that? She's like, I could tell the way you were walking. I said, damn, you a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? From this point, like, shit, like, which means that she just been paying attention, right? And I'm quite sure a lot of that came off our conversations and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Because if you giving somebody a little bit too much time, then they're question like, yeah, why is this person giving me this much attention, this much time? And that goes both ways as a man. Like, like damn, yeah, she in my face a little bit more from this point in time, but you say you got a good man, but you know, we but we talk a lot and we around from
Hmm.
this point in time. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
intimate.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Those conversations get more intimate from this point in time. So like let's go back to what we talked about. We already fucking. You know what I'm saying? We just
Hmm.
haven't physically fucked, but mentally we don't already fucked. You know
But
what I'm
it's,
saying?
it, soon as we get this, if you give me your attention,
You got her. You got her.
it,
It's a wrap.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I had this thing. If I can make that ass giggle, I can make that ass wiggle. And it's like,
Yeah, you sound like my boy. Yeah, my boy Mark used to say that shit. You know what I'm
and,
saying?
and it's
Yeah.
like, and we all know women like dangerous men and funny men.
Yep. That's true. True.
And
Yep.
the rich guy, he
That's
gonna
true.
get used up.
Yeah.
But if you're all three of them things, oh man, she's
Yep. That's
gonna
true.
love the ground you walk on. And that's why I say women have this guy that was the pinnacle of all men in their mind. He did everything. He made her laugh,
Yep.
you know. And for some reason they think because they're dangerous, they can protect me better.
Yeah. You're safe. Yeah, they feel safe. Yeah, they feel safe.
And
Yeah.
oh, he had money. Oh, don't
Yep.
the money is the just the cream on the top,
That's
you
the
know.
cream on the top. Yeah. They I've had so many women who mess with guys who had money who will fuck around on the side from this point in time.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't leaving that person because it's like, I mean, they ain't
That
stupid.
bread.
Yeah, he's providing. He's, it's a stable part from this way in time.
Yeah.
But this guy over here, he's like, I had a woman tell me that, it's like I had a woman tell me that one time. She was like, she wasn't leaving who she was with. She's like, Phil, you fun dick. I said, okay.
But bro, let's be honest. Let's
Yeah,
be
but
honest.
that's what I was. That's what I was.
When a woman has a man and allows you to smash, 9.9 times out of 10, I don't want you anyway, because he doing shit for you that either I probably can't do
Yeah,
or
and
I
I'm
ain't gonna do.
yeah, and I don't trust you either. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I don't trust you. So
Like,
like you said, like, yeah,
what do you mean you left him?
right, right. You better go back and fix that. Come here, let me talk to you
Yeah,
for a second. Right, right,
let me call
right,
him up. Hey, bro,
right.
come get your.
Yeah, right. Like this her friend. Yeah, I'm her friend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, we really are friends this way, man. Like, you need to dot 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 dot. And it's like, man, we do some crazy shit. So you got to set these damn boundaries, man. You
Yeah.
got to set boundaries, man. You got to set boundaries, and and you got to know you got to know who and what you have, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's a respect for a lot of women who I've dated. That's one of the respects. That we go back to my example with my daughter's mom, right? First of all, I've been blessed to have children with beautiful women, as far as like who are women from this point, like beautiful mothers, um, beautiful relationships from this way in time. Some of the it wasn't always my fault. I think initially they want to blame that, say, but blame is easy, right? So accountability takes time, and then everybody realized how they contributed to it. But yeah, when you went back and it was times of some women who were like with my daughter's mom, and also with my ex-wife as well too. There was just some things they just wasn't entertaining. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not even entertaining that with this person, with this
Yeah.
man from this, and they would cut that shit off. The cool part about this, honest enough to tell me about it too, right? So we
Okay.
had these conversations, and it's like, yeah, so I appreciate that. Like every woman has some man like in the back of their mind, like, yeah, yeah, I'll fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, like this motherfucking Pete,
Man,
he can get it. I ain't trying to be with him, but he can get it. You know what I'm saying?
let,
Like
let,
shit.
let, let him slip up. Let him
Right,
slip
yeah.
up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah,
I
that's
try to
true.
tell all young men that I talk to, man, don't ever think that you're that guy that can never get got, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I remember I was like 19 years old, man, when I found out about the shoe being on the other foot, right? you know, I'm out here, I'm living in North Carolina. I'm smashing everything down, like, man,
Right. You from the D,
yeah,
right. You like right. You know right.
bruh,
Man.
young, wild, reckless, you know, and I'm hanging with my brother and them, and the older cats down there. So they shooting me game, and I'm like, man, yo, okay, hey, say this, say that. I'm like, all right, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, right, right, right.
Then, the little chick I was dealing with, long distance relationship, man, she messed around. And it
I
was
see.
it was the whole Friday thing when the old girl was talking to Cube and the dude was laying next to her. I'm
Yeah.
like, you got company? She's
Heart
like,
just broke in pieces and shit, right.
man, hey, I was like, hold up. I'm like, y'all, fuck. She
Right,
was like,
right.
um, I'm like, the nigga done put the dick in you and shit, all that shit up.
You embellish it like a motherfucker, playing the
Hey,
whole role out, how you
right.
did it with her. Yeah, dog. Yeah, yeah.
And
That
it's like,
mind.
you just think it'll never happen to me. I'm that guy. And
Yeah,
man,
bro.
I remember the homie, man. His name is Sergeant Peak, man. He says, "Brother, let me tell you, older cat, man, looking like Frankie Beverly and Maze and shit. He came through. He was like, man, you down here fucking right? She got needs too. Yes, this long distance thing. He was like, man, bro, you could do one or two things: forgive her, get back with her, forgive her, leave her alone.
Either way, forgiveness is gonna be up in there.
Yeah, the forgiveness is for you."
It's
And
for
bro,
you.
from that point forward right there, I ain't gonna lie, that moment shaped my whole view
That's
of
dope.
what relationships are. It's like, you know what, man? Hey. And then when I found out, when I'm smashing other dudes at 19, wives, and it's like, man, shit, it ain't the fault of the man or the woman who getting cheated on. It's the person that's the cheater. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I can't stop you from cheating. It ain't
Right.
my job to stop you from cheating. That's just what kind of spirit you got.
Yeah, yeah. That's where you at in this moment. Yeah,
So,
and for whatever reason you're doing it, you see what I'm
and
saying? Because
and
women
some
cheat.
people do it just for the hell of it.
Yeah, some people do it for different reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like a lot of times with women, it's like, shit, he been out here doing it, so fuck it, let me go do this. And then you don't necessarily always feel better after that shit. I mean, it's times I've cheated, bro, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, what am I doing, bro? You see what I'm
But
saying?
you know
Like
what?
I didn't gain that, not that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fuck am I doing, bro? Like now, if she did that shit to me, nigga, I'm like, I'm fucked up. You know, I'm fucked up, bro. You feel me? Like 100. You know, like you said, man. You got to be honest with this shit, bro. You got to be
Well, I'm gonna
honest,
be
man.
honest with you. I think there's only one reason people cheat, and everything else are excuses. The reason a person cheated is because they wanted to. That's just
Because they
flat out.
can. Yeah,
And
that's it.
then
That's true.
everything
Yep.
else are just excuses.
I
They'll,
agree.
oh well, you wasn't giving me no time. That's an excuse. That's
I
not the
agree.
reason. Because if,
I
if
agree.
if it was that bad, you could always break it off so you don't be a cheater.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, because I look back on myself, man. Like I remember a friend or a woman I came out of a relationship with a couple years ago, and I had cheated, and it really hurt her. You know what I'm saying? And,
Okay.
like go back to what we talked about with the dishonesty. What was that number 9, right? From a dishonest part
Mm-hmm.
of it,
Yep.
and it always just fucked her up. It was like, damn, like I was giving you all of this. Like, then what was it? And I just finally just was honest. I was like, because I could. I can't even.
It has
I know
nothing to do
that.
with you.
I know that exactly. I know that ain't what you think that you want to hear, but the fact of the matter, man, it was just the fact because I could do it. You know what I'm saying? It don't make it right. I can't give you any more explanation than that. I feel fucked up about it. It ain't no casual thing for me to say it. It's just honest. Like
Yeah,
that's the reason why I did it because I could. You know what I'm
it
saying?
was
Like,
there.
yeah, it was there. And I was like, well, fuck it. I might as well, and then all other shit. No, it wasn't any other stuff like this and this and this and this and this and this. Like you said, all the rest of that is an excuse. You are
Yep.
100% correct. And all the rest
And,
of that
and,
shit is
it,
just
and it
yep,
had nothing to do with you. It was
nothing to do
just
with
all about me and my desires. That's when people ask me about trust. It's like, Sherrod, do you trust? I was like, well, I trust a person will be more loyal to their desires than they will be to me. Now, if I'm who they desire, I'm in good shape. If I'm not, oh well.
it. Good luck. Good luck, bro. Like, oh well.
you
Oh
know,
well, tough
you
luck. You
know,
know what I'm saying?
like
Like
doody
my boy
doo
said,
doo doo doo.
well, yes, I tried. I tried. Fuck it.
Another relationship down the drain.
Right. Yeah, I can move on a little bit faster now. You know what I mean? Shit, than what I used to be able, like, shit, okay. But yeah, man, it has
No,
nothing to do with that stuff,
yeah,
man. It really does. It's the same thing like with um we talk about sex, right? Like, man, a guy can do all the rest of the shit he think he doing. Like, nigga, I'm laying pipe, I'm fucking her this way, doing all the rest of this. But in the vice versa for men, like, nigga, shit, I fucked the shit out of her. I did all the rest of this type of shit, or she did all the rest of this, and he did like, girl, this I did this to him and everything else. That man is gonna choose the one, just like a woman, he's gonna choose the woman who makes him feel safe,
yeah.
that he feels safe with. Like that I can come home to, no, she don't maybe do all the rest of this stuff, do all the rest of this type of shit. But one thing I know about this woman, man, is that she loves me and she's gonna be there for me and she's gonna be fair and treat me right. That's where you're gonna end up at. And I think that's
And
the same thing for women as well, too. When you grow, that's where you're gonna end up with. You know what I'm saying? Because man, you get tired of that shit. You don't want to be out here wondering if you don't trust somebody, bro. Like that's the worst fucking feeling to be in a relationship on. Like, man, you know what I'm saying? So shit, she worried about like, okay, he says he's gonna be home from work at 6 o'clock. I know it take him this long to get here. He do this. You come in at 7 or 8. It's like, well, what the fuck you been? You was fucking this motherfucker. You was fucking that bitch, such and such and such. Man, yeah, bro. Like
yeah,
simplicity, bro. Go with simplicity. Simple life, brother.
number
Stop making it
6.
complicated. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Hey, what we just talked about is unforgiveness. And
You just brought it up. You just
yeah,
said it.
cheat. You got to be able to let the shit go. If you can't
Yeah.
let it go, let the relationship go.
Yeah. What you said, Sarge told you. That Sarge gave you dope ass
Yeah,
advice. Either way, you're gonna have to work on forgiveness, bro.
yeah,
You gotta work on forgiveness. And that shit is deep, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I was me and my ex had a conversation about that one time. And I was like, in order to really true have forgiveness, you gotta forget too. And they're like, nah, I can't forget. I'm like, no, the fact that I'm not saying no memory is gonna make you remember, of course, that
right.
point. You can't control memory. That's in the brain. You can't control that. You can't erase that. But you have to get to the point when you truly forgive, you got to forget a lot of that shit. You can't hold on to a lot of that shit, man. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know where that person was at in that moment. You don't know where their head was at. You don't know where they were at in this point. And I know for me, it's taken me times when I got fucked up in relationship, got caught for cheating and shit like that. Like the pain that I caused people and the pain I caused myself, I was like,
Yeah,
I don't want that feeling no more, bro. You see what I'm saying? So some shit you just gotta go through, man, and feel that shit. And you like, no, I learned my lesson from this point in time. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
now I know what that shit feels like. Like, no. So I gotta learn first how to forgive yourself. That's the biggest one.
You can't
You
keep
know,
beating yourself up. You
can't
can't.
keep beating yourself up. You your worst enemy, bro. Like that's what people like. You can keep bringing it up. Like I was telling my ex, I was like, you keep bringing it up, and that's cool. I understand that. But at some point, we got to get past it. But the biggest shit is how I embellish the shit. You feel me? Like what's going on in my head with it. Like I'm my worst fucking enemy of this shit, bro. Like man, you can't beat me up more than I'm beating up myself.
Right.
You
Because I
can't
hurt
do it.
somebody that I love.
I hurt somebody I love, and it affected so much. Like even with my marriage, like man, bro, like man, I lost my family, nigga, off of that. You know what I'm saying? Like I did, right? Like damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to learn and live through that part. You know, do I think we could have fixed it? Yeah, it was fixable. It was definitely fixable. But that's me saying that because guess what? It didn't happen to me. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I wasn't the one cheated on, right? So of course I'm like, damn, we could fix it. I think we could have fixed it. But then you grow to a point in time, it's like, well, yeah, once you start moving on and and learning more about yourself, you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna keep rehashing it either. I'm not gonna be 20 years in and being like, back in 1989, you cheat. Like, no, come on, dog. Like it's so
Or
much more life that
you
we
get
gotta
up to use
live.
the bathroom. Oh, that bitch in the bathroom.
Yeah, right. Right. You can't even take your phone. They can even take your phone in the bathroom, nigga. Don't do that. Like shit. Like,
Look,
nah.
you sitting there looking at ESPN while you take a dump. It's like,
No,
look, I
right.
need something to get my mind out this
Fine.
shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
She bust in. What's her
That's it.
name?
Right. Right.
Stephen A. Smith.
Right. Yeah. The guy who you was watching you before, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that bitch probably watching Stephen A. Smith. Damn, baby, what the fuck? Like, you see what I'm doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't never lied, bro. I'm fucking bust in and be like, the fuck you doing? The fuck, who is that? What you mean, who is that, man? I'm watching Sports Center. Catching the score of the game. You probably went to where was you at last night? You went to the game with that bitch? Man. Like, when we gonna get past this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Hey,
know,
and you really never do, man. If they can't 100% forgive you, you know
yeah, yeah.
that trust thing, man, is once you lose it, it's hard to get it back, man.
I'll get it back. I'm gonna give you an example, man. A professor said this to us one time in class one time, and he was like, I like this analogy. He was like, trust is like you got a big old tree, right? A big tree outside, right? Big, huge, and massive from this point in time. And you take a big ass axe as hard as you can, and you hit that tree, and a piece falls out. A big chunk of it falls out. Now the tree is still standing, but trust is like when you break trust, it's like you'll never be able to put that piece back into that tree. I said, damn, bro, I love that analogy because that's true. Like the tree can still stand and still be there, but that broken trust, you can never put that piece back into that tree. That it'll always be a hole right there. And
Yeah.
I was like,
And any
damn,
little thing, y'all can move on and ascend past it, but any little thing will take you right back to
right
that
back to that
moment.
little piece. Yep, yep. I was like, damn, that was a good. Now I wish I'd have heeded that advice. It was dope when he said it. I wish I would have lived it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it took me time to understand it and to live it, though. You feel
Yep.
me? Like it took me time now to get to that place. I had to grow to that place like I understood it, but applying it, it's like
Right.
now I get exactly what you're saying. Like I get exactly what he's saying. Like the tree can still stand, which the relationship can still be there. The marriage can still grow, everything else from this point in time.
Yep.
But but isn't that but that's in my opinion, that's all marriages. That's all relationships. You're gonna have times in those relationships that it was some shit that got wounded in it. No one everybody think they got this linear shit with relationships.
That
It's
shit is.
like that shit is all over. Is that right? You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker here and there and around, right?
Shit is
But
a roller coaster ride, man.
it's a roller coaster, bro. It's a roller coaster. But you gotta hold on. But it's gonna be some times, man, when that boy is real smooth selling, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's what you hoping to get to
Yep.
before we cause too much damn damage. But that goes back to what you said, forgiveness. Forgiveness is a bad motherfucker, man. You want intimacy? We ain't talking about no sexual intimacy off this shit. We talking about real fucking intimacy, man. When you can talk about that shit in them painful moments, you can
Yeah.
talk about that. And she be like, well, why did you do that to me? Like, why would you do that? It's like you said, like, it had nothing to do with you. You know, I was just on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, she kept talking shit. She's at the plant talking about how she liked to bend over and do this shit. I'm like, it caught me one of the motherfucking days that I was like, all right, I'm gonna bend her ass over this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
fuck it. She keep talking that shit. And that's that. It happens like that. You know? I
And it's unfortunate,
Yeah,
but
it is.
it's it's nothing that you could have done better to make me
Yeah,
not do it, because at that moment, that's what I wanted to do.
yeah, period.
And
Like you just said. That's what
unfortunately,
you want to do. Yeah,
I did it. I didn't have self control.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I did it. And I can't go back and undo it. That's the fucked up part. If I could, trust me, I would. Like knowing
yeah.
what it affected and how it affected us this way, I would go back and change it. But I can't. But I'm trying to show you who I am now. Like,
Moving forward.
I'll show you this point,
Yeah.
and I hope that you forgive me because shit, I'm learning how to forgive myself. So yeah, that's a bad one. And that will affect intimacy, man, because it goes back to trust and dishonesty and shit. When women don't trust you, man, like shit, you don't, same thing for women cheat. I mean, my dick ain't getting hard from that point in time because I'm embellishing. I'm thinking like, shit, was you sucking his dick like that? You
Look,
riding him like that? You fucking him this way? Like the fuck?
she come to kiss you, you be like, you brush your teeth?
Right. The other time, the guy that gave her kiss rolled on over, like, no, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm good. You know what
Nah,
I'm saying?
I'm good.
I'm
Mm-mm.
good. Right. Yeah, and you
Salty
got to
this
get
motherfucker.
right, right. Salty as hell, mad as a motherfucker. Like, man, this motherfucker, damn. You know what I'm saying? Shit.
Every time
Hey,
you see her ass, you like,
yeah, but you still there because you love her.
yeah.
You know,
It stings, you
things.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
and and it's funny that, you know, women always say men can't handle the hurt that they give women. Be like, hell, y'all cheat on us a lot too. I mean, we be raising kids we think is ours.
Right, right. Exactly right.
Like
Right.
this little albino kid, that ain't.
Right, right. That is your baby. Like, I don't know. I don't think that's my baby. You always got somebody in your family like, you need to go get a DNA test on
It's
that
your
baby.
grandmama. She was like,
Right,
well, baby, we ain't got that kind of nose right there.
right.
That boy right there, he got curly hair. We got straight hair.
That's right here. Right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Listen, baby, you go to the house like, hey, granny, listen, baby, I love you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna get in the way of who you date and who you love, but that baby ain't your baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
We'll love them just the same. We'll love them because we ain't gonna treat no baby bad around here. We loves all the children,
Right.
but that ain't yours. So take your name off of it because that ain't a junior.
Right. Exactly. I'm just saying, baby. You know what I'm saying? You
And I'm
know,
gonna get out your business.
I'm just right, right. What you want to eat around here? You know what I'm
You
saying?
know,
You got
as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to church and pray on it.
right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but you make sure you take that baby down there though. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, like man, that's so true. Damn, that is so. You gotta love black people, man. You gotta love us. You gotta love black people, man. You gotta love black people, bro. You gotta love black people,
Hey,
bro.
Granny gonna tell you off rip. Oh no, that ain't one of us.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
That ain't
like you
one of
said.
us.
Like you said, that's the first thing they say. That ain't our nose from this point in time. That nose, and let me see them fingers. Look at their hand. No, them hands ain't our hands don't be like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, damn. Yeah,
We,
you
we
looking
got
like
we we got skinny feet. There was them fat feet on that
you
kid.
right. You like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Shit. Hey, listen, we did do some shit around that time. She like, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't with nobody. No, you was with somebody, motherfucker. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
You was
What
with
did Cat
somebody.
Williams say? That little baby rice skinned it.
Right skin. Your ass is on one tonight, dog. Your ass is on one. Oh my god.